This video is all about how this new technology of movement feedback holography relates and compares to other kinds of personal development, self-improvement, healing, law of attraction kind of stuff you may have done. My name is Brent Phillips. I am the founder and creator of the Awakening Dynamic System of Energy Healing and Higher Consciousness. And I'm here with video number 2 in our series on movement feedback holography. And we're going to focus on understanding kind of how movement is the same, but very different from other modalities and techniques you may have used. You see, I've been around this self-improvement block a number of times. I started with this stuff back in the 90s. I loved Celestine prophecy. I loved conversations with God. I loved all that kind of stuff. I went to positive thinking weekends and put power words on my walls and said my mantras every day and all that stuff. I later got really deep into energy healing, especially after meeting a healer who facilitated a true miraculous instant healing when my arm, which had been paralyzed at the elbow after a botched surgery, instantly healed. And I became a professional healer myself. And I learned all these different systems and modalities and processes, and it was all very interesting. But then, as I mentioned in video number 1, when I had my first movement session with my late mentor, Carl, it blew my mind. Why? I couldn't figure it out. It made no sense. I had done all these other things, all this positive thinking, working with the subconscious, NLP, hypnosis, Reiki, pranic, on and on and on. But this was so different. Here's what I eventually discovered. After taking hundreds of seminars and reading thousands of books, we can roughly categorize all these different personal development, self-improvement, new age, law of attraction, whatever you want to call that, all these different things into 3 generations, because they are really consciousness technologies. They are ways of using human mind power, consciousness, and our energy field to put it to work to create valuable benefits in our life. Not too different than electrical technology allows us to put electricity to work. It really does. Power is generated somewhere in a plant, flows through the lines, and then you can plug in your lights, you can plug in your toaster, you can plug in your TV. So we've learned how to use electricity to do useful things for us. Personal development, mind power, energy healing is just the same. It's just ways to use human consciousness and mind power and turn it into useful results. And here's what you'll find. These are the 3 generations. The first generation is sort of the traditional mind power positive thinking. Now, I'm not going to talk a lot about these because I have a whole nother series of videos specifically about the 3 generations of consciousness, but I'm going to give you a big picture overview right now. So the first gen would be positive thinking, things like Think and Grow Rich, your typical mind power, vision boards, power words on the wall, mantras kind of stuff. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just a primitive technology. Just like the Model T that came out in 1912 or whatever it was. That was a great technology at the time, but you wouldn't want to drive one now. Of course not. Wouldn't you rather have a Porsche or a Tesla or something? I would. You want to hand crank your car to get it started? You want to have no windshield, no stereo, no climate control, no roof? Have it only come in one color? Break down every 3 miles? Great, get a Model T. You want something that's fast, comfortable, safe, and pleasant? Get a modern car. So consciousness technology is no different. Some people like the old technologies, just like some people like old cars. But if you're looking for performance and value, it's kind of a waste of time. Look at the new stuff, right? So things get more interesting in the second generation. This is where we start to see miracles occur consistently. Because did you know that over 99% of people that use the typical first gen law of attraction positive thinking feel they get few or no results? That's right. Over 99% failure. So I know we can do better. So in the second generations, we start to do a little better. We start to see a lot of medical miracles occur. And here's the key difference. The second gen technologies have specific techniques or methods of accessing and working with the subconscious mind. It's really that simple. First gen is all the conscious mind. You might see some shift, but you probably won't. But the second gen, we get into the subconscious. That's why we start to see more transformations, and in particular, a lot of medical miracles. My frozen elbow, paralyzed by the surgery, instantly healed. That really happened. I've had well over 1,900 medical miracles occur with my clients and students, which is about 100 miracles a year. So it's good stuff, but it can't do everything. It can't get you out of your head. It generally doesn't work very well to make more money or to get more confident. And it has no way to get the life force back into your body. It's not bad. It's just technologically, it's getting a little stale. It was exciting in the 90s and 2000s, but now the state of the art has moved far beyond. And that brings us to the third generation. But before we talk about the third generation, please take a second, click like, click subscribe. It's really important. If you like the channel, YouTube needs to know. And just so you know, what I'm doing here is really difficult. I'm giving you intensely valuable, dense content that people don't tend to watch over and over like a music video. So it's really important. Click like, click subscribe. And I would love to hear from you. Put something into the comments. And I aim to personally reply to every single comment on every single video on this channel. And let me know, what was the first modality you experienced? Was it maybe Think and Grow Rich, or Secrets in the Millionaire Mind, or Reiki healing? I'd love to hear from you. What was the first consciousness technology you ever experienced and played with? Let us know in the comments. Awesome. So now let's talk about the third gen. And the reason we're talking about the third gen, this is where we have to put movement, because again, it's so different than anything else. It's physical, it's visceral, it's intuitive and symbolic. There's not a lot of use of words or imagining or the mind, and that's why it works so well. The third generation of consciousness technologies let go of the old model of, well, find subconscious block clear. That'll give you some results, but there's only so much it can do. Instead, we get into the body, into the actual feeling of your body and how you move, in order to release these deeply held myths and blocks and stories much faster, much more easily, far more automatically. And it can do things that the second gen tech simply can't. It got me over a lot of my social anxiety. It helped make me money. And not just this guy, Brent, but so many of my clients and students. Really, I would just put 3 things that I found in my life into the third generation. The movement feedback holography, the quantum field entrainment that goes hand in hand with it, we'll talk about in a later video in the series, and awakening. Understanding the highest divine truth of what you really are, what God really is, how life really works. Those are the third generation, because they're a whole level beyond anything we could do before. And if you're interested to experience these things for yourself, check the links in the description. I got a link to register for my free live online webinar called the Healathon, which I only do maybe 4 to 6 times a year. And I will talk about movement as well as the other techs and actually demonstrate it for you so you can experience this for yourself. Because you know what? I know this may sound too good to be true. I would be skeptical too. That's fine. All I would say is, don't believe anything I'm saying it just because I say it. Try it. Have your own experience and let's see what happens. So thank you for being here with me. This is the end of video number 2, and I will look forward to seeing you for our next release in video number 3. And until then, please take care and namaste.